So this is basically one of those videos that I'm ashamed to make, because I'll come here and tell you the truth about my life that I don't like to share. But so right now, as is, I don't, and I don't want, maybe in the future it might be this video, I don't know, but I don't want this video to be too long. I will tell you like the story of my porn addiction. So basically, as of right now, as I'm recording this, it's been like a few weeks to maybe close to a month now since I last went to the hub, and it's embarrassing to say. I'm not proud of it by any means, and I want to stop. Like it's a disgusting habit. I just don't like. I hate myself, and it's embarrassing to say. And like the reason why I just do it is because it's the truth. Like that's what I'm telling you, it's the truth. I can come here and pretend as if I'm perfect and I have everything figured out and all that, but just me telling you the truth is better, at least for you and for me. But basically, it's been close to a month now, at least a few weeks, since I last went to the hub and everything. And this is not the first time something like this is happening. So, about to take me down a dark rabbit hole. But basically, I remember the first time I encountered porn in my life. The first time I really encountered it. I think then I was in, I can't remember. I should know it was 2017. 2017. That was the first time. Then I just got my phone. I just had my very first phone at the time, and the phone was stupid as fuck. That's back then when we were young. I remember one time, one of my dreams then was to just have a normal functioning phone, like a phone that just functions normally. But that phone was stupid as fuck anyway. But that's not the point. That will be another story for another day. So basically, how it all started at the time, I don't know. I think it was Facebook, and that time Facebook used to do free mood and stuff. So I don't even know how I did it, whether I searched for it or I was in some group, or I don't know exactly how. But I stumbled on some pictures, and it was like, you know, girls posing in sexy way. And me being, I think, was I 13 or 14, I don't know how old that, but there's something like that. Me being that like that and seeing that for the very first time in my life, wow, oh my god, see this girl. She was not even, I don't think they were naked at the time. I don't think so. I don't think they were. But they were sure, you know, posing a sexy or whatever. And it was like, ooh, you know, and it was like something I've just never seen in my life. Then it was just like a one-time thing, you know. I looked like one or two pictures and that was the end. And after that, a few days or a few weeks later, I came back. I looked at more pictures. And a few weeks later, I came back again. I looked at even more pictures, and the more pictures I looked at, the more raw those pictures started to become, and more. So all of a sudden, pictures just stopped doing it. Pictures weren't giving the spark again. Then guess where the next place was? The hub. Video. So video after video. At first, it was just like, oh, this video is dirty as fuck. This video is a dirty video. But at least it will help somebody. And that's why I make this video, because I wish when I was in that dark, is part of the reason why I kind of want to make this, because I remember those times when it was dark in my life. And because right now it's to sound so kind of silly to say, but I remember many times. I'm just kind of glad I got out of that dark space, because the way my life was headed back then, if you just heard like, oh, I was dead, and what killed me, not like I even got shot or something, I just committed suicide, I just hanged myself. Like that was when my life was headed down. But I'm just glad that I don't even know exactly how I left that part. But I'm just glad that I just left that part. So I'm no longer depressed and anxious and everything. It was dark at the time. And the funny thing is that nobody even knew. That's the crazy part. Nobody even knew. To me, everybody just looks normal. But I knew what was going on inside. But that won't be another story for another day. But basically, it went from pictures to videos to darker videos and darker videos and darker videos and darker videos and weirder and weirder and weirder videos and weirder. Till it now became this big mess. I just thought about something. Oh man, I don't know if I should say this. Let me just because it will help you, brother. So I remember back then, one of the times I not really had like a paradigm shift that this is an addiction, because at the time I didn't really see it as an addiction. I didn't see it as anything major. I was just like, you know, I watch all these sexy videos on, you know, they're just videos. Doesn't mean shit. It was when so I think it was 2020, yeah, before the pandemic, before the lockdown stuff. So towards the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020. So I remember one day, at the time, my grandpa at the time, I think he just retired. So I think just turned 80 years old and he retired. So he came and started living with us, and his children, that was like our uncles and stuff. You know, since he retired and everything, they sent him like all these gadgets. So they sent him these tablets, new phone and stuff like that. So basically, he's an old man, 80 years old. So you don't think he will he will have any idea of how to use a tablet. So we, the grandchildren, are the ones that just kind of inherited it and stuff. And I remember, this is just what I have to say, bro. I remember one day I was at home by myself in the bedroom, and I was about to rub one out. And I took the tablet, so I recorded myself. So while I not finished recording, because my idea was like, I wanted to see what I looked like from a third person view. That was the only intention. So while I was now, you know, when I was about to watch after I finished recording myself, it was a very short video, I swear. But after I finished recording myself, I was like about to watch the video, and I heard somebody like enter the room. So I was in the bedroom, somebody not enter the room, so I just quickly deleted the video. I didn't even bother to watch it again. So what now made it crazy was few weeks later after that. So I casually was using these tablets again like everybody else, and I was just, I think they snapped pictures then. So I now deleted those pictures, and I didn't realize like, wait, there's recycle bin. Then I went to recycle bin and still saw that video there, and I now watched it. I couldn't even watch it for more than like 10 seconds, and I was disgusted at what I saw. It was fucked. I didn't believe I was the one in that video. Then it's now just dawned on me like, wow, this is actually a big problem. Like, this is not just so I just watch videos and this is like, I'm fucked. I'm basically fucked. And that was when I actually started putting effort into actually like, I need to stop doing this bad habit. This is bad. Like, this is just terrible. So that's just basically like one of the, at least you know something fucked up about it. You know, none of us are know. But that was basically the moment in my mind when I just realized that this is actually a problem. Like, I need to get help. So, and at first, because I never saw it as a problem, so I was just thinking, you know, I just would never watch it again. So it's just that simple. Just don't watch it again. Then a few days later, I found myself watching it again. Okay, this time I'm never going to watch it again. I'm tired of living like this every time. And I found myself watching it again. Oh, this is too much. Again and again and again and again, and I just couldn't stop. Then I just realized like, I'm addicted. I was really, really addicted. But then I was struggling, so it's carried on like that until today. Like I just said, this is one of the like most successful times I've had. But the thing is that throughout this, like since 2017, it's not just be like every single day just rubbing one out. There are some periods that every single day I'm rubbing one out, but there's a period, of course, like maybe sometimes many weeks or many months I just don't have any business with that place. And so one thing I like to do is like break down, to just analyze my life and realize the times when I was successful and when the times when I was, you know, like failed basically. I just ask myself like, what did I do that made me successful? Like, what did I do that made me successful? And what did I do that made me fail? So this is like something that has helped me, or these are a list of things that I feel like helped me, and hopefully they help you out as well. So the first thing, the very, very, very first thing is just the basic one that everybody just does. Everybody that tells you to do NoFap, this is the basic one, is level 1. Just stay away from it. So this one is basically just discipline. So just don't watch porn, don't bust nuts. Like, just, that's just level 1. Just don't watch porn, stay away from it. And it's actually like, to some degree you could think it doesn't work, but at the same time it does, because just not watching porn is like, it's possible, you can actually do it, but it's hard because that's level 1. But this is what most people do. And the thing is that many people that are, you're especially addicted like myself, I don't think right here right now I'm addicted again. Okay, maybe that's still on. I at least I don't want to be identified as an addict. But many people like myself that are addicted, this step always usually fuels them, because their discipline is just not at that level to just basically just wake up in the morning and saying, I'm done with this, I'm never ever going to do it again. They actually never ever going to do it again. Like, it's only a very few select people that can actually do something like that. So that's level 1. Level 2. The story I was saying earlier just it's just making me laugh. Level 2 of that. Level 2. So just another. I think I'm not going to say them in levels. I'm just going to say different tactics. Another tactic that I feel like has helped me a lot, I noticed, especially now. I don't know. In one of these older videos, you'd have heard that I said I'm doing IT now, so basically I'm like internship or industrial training. So basically I'm working a 9 to 5 for the whole of this semester till like April. So I just basically never have time. I come home, I leave the house around 8/9 o'clock, come home by 5/6 o'clock. So I basically I'm always tired, I'm always occupied during the day. And I just never really had time to do anything. I noticed that when my time was occupied like that, I just busted nuts less. And that's another thing again, to just find something to occupy your time. Many times you also don't realize like the time you will like bust all these nuts and stuff like is many times, very many times, it's usually when you're bored or when you're alone or when you have nothing to do. You just have a lot of time on your hands. Come on. It's when you just have like you just realize you have a lot of time on your hands. It's like you default into all these things because you have nothing better to do, and why not just quickly rub one out. Another tactic again that has helped me is having purpose as well, having like a goal or a mission that is important to you, that is far greater than this porn thing. Yeah, like when you have like that, I just noticed that times in my life, another period again, or some periods when I was just like not watching all these videos and doing all these bad habits. It was when I had something I was doing. I just had a goal, I had a plan, I had a purpose, I had a mission. And it was meant so much to me that, porn and checking up and stuff, it wasn't appealing at all. And I noticed that it helped. So if you are going through all this and, you're finding it hard, giving yourself a purpose could solve your problem. I think these are like the top 3 now that I really think will help a lot. At least kind of helps me a lot. The first one is kind of just creating a good life for yourself, because many times if I ask you like why, or at least let's see, break down the problem, because if you think about it now, like, oh, I'm addicted to porn and stuff, but at the same time, is it any surprise that you're addicted to porn? Like I just described my life back then when I was younger, when I started checking off and stuff. I was 13, 14, 15. I had basically no friends, no, like hardly any friends, maybe just acquaintances, no social life, no purpose, no, I just hated life terribly. And also I even felt like I had no bitches, like my social skills were just terrible. So talking to girls was I could hardly even talk to boys, imagine not talking to girls. So isn't that any surprise when you're always having suicide thoughts and having anxiety and you're having fear and everything? I was like, all this crazy shit inside. Isn't that any surprise that you go to porn to go and jerk off? Like in fact, if somebody like that, if the person doesn't go and jerk off, or doesn't go and maybe start smoking or overdose on scrolling or take drugs or something like that, drink, like that person is actually very, very strong, because by default you're going to run, because these things, they bring pleasure, they make you feel better, they make you feel loved, they give you like they give you something positive. Why not you feel all these negative? Like, is there any like surprise? So basically just like make your life more pleasant, because if my default existence was pleasant, if every single day you wake up and you're happy and optimistic and you have people you genuinely care about, you have good friends and maybe a girlfriend that likes you or something like that, and your family, you love your family and you are in love with your work, and every single day of your life, like your day-to-day life, you just enjoy it. Your average day-to-day life, you just actually like it. Do you think you'll still be addicted? Of course there's a high chance, like maybe you might not necessarily not be addicted, but the chance of you being an addict it drops down significantly. So that's just one thing, like create a good life for yourself. Another one again is also change your identity. I remember one of these days I busted a nut again. So I think it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock, 3 a.m. and people are making me open like a dark can of worms. They're making me open these things. But I remember basically I just busted a nut and stuff, and I was just lying in the parlor. I did this in the parlor, everybody was asleep. It was like 1 a.m. Busted this nuts and stuff, and the stupid video I even watched, it was like the channel, I think the name was Hot Guys Fuck. So basically it's like one stupid show like that they'll bring some hot guy and some hot girl, and basically they will not fuck. That's just disgusting. And the one I haven't watched, I think the guy was like an 18-year-old. So me, I was about to turn 20 at this period. Yeah, I think I was about to turn 20. So my 20th birthday was like a few weeks from then. And basically I just thought to myself, I'm watching a man younger than me win. I'm watching this 18-year-old dude basically just fuck this girl. And I just thought to myself, like, why the fuck am I even doing this? I'm better than this. Like I actually like have things I'm doing with my life. I'm like in like to me I just I started to adopt the identity of like I'm a millionaire. Like my time is worth a lot, so my time is valuable. I don't just sit around and just bust nuts and just watch porn and just scroll on social media and just waste fucking time. Like I'm actually like my time is valuable. Like I'm actually useful. Like I'm a high value man stuff. And ever since, like, okay, maybe not ever since that, I still, I still relapsed eventually. But that took me for a while. Like, after that day, for a while, I just didn't go to the hub. I just didn't bust nuts or do anything. And that was another thing I noticed again, the identity shifts. Because one thing that also makes you jerk off is like, you identify as an addict, you identify as a wanker, you identify as somebody that is addicted. That's why I just said not too long ago that I want to stop saying that. Because when you identify, like, what does an addict do? An addict is addicted, an addict jerks off, an addict cannot stop. But somebody that is not an addict, somebody that is a high value man, somebody that is like a multi-millionaire, you can easily just, it doesn't do those stuff. So it's easy for you to like detach. And the last and final one that I feel like none of all these nofap, people talk about is just God, Christ. So I'm a Christian, but at least, yes, I'm a Christian. But basically, how do I explain this? I grew up in a Christian home. Like I grew up from a Christian background. My parents both Christian, born and raised. If you're a Nigerian, 90% of households in Nigeria are like Christians. So like that's just almost everybody is a Christian, but that's just the thing. Most people just identify as Christians, but most people are not actually Christians. So for the longest time, I just identified as a Christian, because I went to church and my parents are Christians, and almost every morning we do like morning devotion or whatever. But I just didn't really identify, and it was not until recently that I started to actually want to take this whole Christianity stuff a lot more seriously. It was not until recently I started to like read the Bible and pray to God and stuff. And I'm not trying to say like I'm advanced or stuff. I still see myself as level 1 basic, even though basically all my whole life I've been a Christian. But I still see myself in level 1. Like I'm still like very low on the hierarchy. But many times we try to fight all these problems by ourselves when God is like the real solver of the problems. One thing I like to say is like God is the CEO of the universe. Imagine like the maker. So imagine maybe an exam, for example. Let's say some exam is tough and you are trying to write this exam. It's just very hard and you can't seem to solve these problems, find the answer to these problems. Of course, you can sit down there and try to crack your head, which is very, very ineffective. Another thing you could just do is to just go and meet the person that sets these exam questions and just tell him like, I need your help. And this guy, even though he might not just give you all the answers and just take it on easy mode, you still want you to like work hard and use your brain, but he's going to guide you and just make the process significantly better. And I feel like that's exactly how God is. That's exactly what Jesus does. Many times we try to walk down this life by ourselves. We try to just find solve all these problems by ourselves with our own logical head and thinking and stuff. And many times Jesus is the CEO of the universe. God is the CEO, he's the maker of the world. So you turning to him and telling him, I have this problem and I want to solve it, I want to stop, and I'm just tired of living like this. Don't you think he's going to make it easier for you to stop? Like many people, they don't really talk about it because religion is controversial and everybody has their take. Some people are not Christians, some people are Christians and so. But personally, I believe in my Lord Jesus. I believe Jesus died for our sins and he's the true Son of God. And that's why I always say, even you forgot to start going to church. I'll give your life to Christ. What the fuck is wrong with you? But yeah, give your life to Christ. Just try it. Literally just pray to God and just literally submit your problems to him. Just tell him take control over this problem. Help me. I can't do this by myself. I'm just mere human. I'm not even just any type of human. A dumbass 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 year old, 21, 22 year old. I can't navigate this by myself. I need help. And just pray. God is actually going to help you, and he could literally just he will solve the problem for you. Give your life to Christ, bro. So with all that said, what's not the best strategy of all this? Is it praying to God, or having a purpose, or changing your identity, or using discipline or whatever? I found out that the best way to actually get rid of all this porn problem is actually to combine all of them together. Because for example, if let's say you pray to God now, you give your life to Christ and everything, But all day you just sit at home and just do nothing. You're just sitting around scrolling on TikTok all day. You just waste time. But you have given your life to Christ. You pray to God every single day and stuff. You are a lot more likely to fall back into this stupid habit of relapsing. And if you still pray to God like that, but now you have a purpose, now you have like a goal of making videos, or you have a goal of, you know, becoming an artist or a musician or a copywriter or a sales person or starting a business, whatever, you're a lot less likely to do it. And you're a lot less likely to do that as well when you now stack discipline on top of it. Like I said, I'm not going to fap, and I am not going to fap. You're a lot less likely to do it when you now also start creating a life you actually love, like waking up to this reality every day, and you actually like this reality, you actually want to live it. You're a lot less likely to fail. Like basically, my point is to just stack all of them on top of each other. Many times we think it's just like one single tactic or one silver bullet or one, you know, magic secret sauce that is going to change everything. Let me tell you, it's not a secret sauce. Like maybe there is, but I feel like it's a combination of all these things. You combine all these problems, like all these solutions together, you stack them on top of each other, and it just basically creates like this killer weapon. That's when you use it against like your porn addiction and stuff. You are the one that is going to win, because you stack all these problems, like all these solutions together. Sorry. So basically, that's just how to stop fapping. How to like actually. Porn has ruined many of us lives, honestly. Like porn has ruined so many lives, and it's actually a big problem. You know, many people don't like to talk about it because it's embarrassing. If you will notice, when I was making the video, like my roommate was here with me. I've not told him I had a porn addiction before. If you notice, it just kind of worked out, and I'm assuming one of the reasons he left is because what I was saying was starting to become vulgar and stuff. And it's not like, because I could hide these things, I could pretend, I could not make this video. I could make this video like very filtered, you know, I could say nice words, I could say proper words. But many in the future, definitely I'll still make more and more detailed, even raw videos than this one. But I feel like many people don't talk about this stuff enough, and sometimes many of the solutions they put out there, they are not like many of these guys that make these videos, and myself included, not just them. So I kind of understand where they are coming from, but they make all these videos just for views. Like they are not actually trying to give you real solutions that once you do it, you are actually going to stop. They are just trying to, you know, tell you basic stuff like, oh, anytime you feel the urge, you're gonna do push-ups. And basically, like, definitely those help. I'm not trying to say they are bad advice, but I want to be one of the few people that actually solves this problem for myself. I want to be one of the few people that actually stops fapping, actually gets rid of this stupid problem I've had since 2017 till this day, and solve it for myself, and actually show you like, hey, this is what I did, this is what helps me out, and hopefully it helps you out as well. Porn has ruined so many lives, and I think it's time for us to like take our lives back. It's time for us to take back control of our lives. It's time for us to take charge. It's time for us to rise. So hopefully this helps you out. Hopefully stop happening. Yeah.